Welcome in, Ricky. How are you?
I am doing swell, Dan. How are you?
This is a little bit different than my usual interview because we actually work together on a daily basis, which for those watching, we're going to get into pretty shortly. This is an interview for the B.O.S.S program, the 2.0 program, because everybody that's done it before has all done the 1.0 version, I guess, without all the new stuff in it. Now we got the new script, the new offers, the pitch deck everybody can get, the high level snapshots all set up too. So just give me like a basic experience, like in your own words.
Yeah, man, a basic experience. So I guess I'll give a little bit of background first. I've been watching Dan for over a year now on his YouTube channel. So it was kind of just like, all right, I know I want this guy to mentor me. I don't know when. It was never the right time. Finally, I joined B.O.S.S and then it was a lot at once, right? It was a whole new way of running my agency. Again, I've been running it for the past 2 years. So when I joined B.O.S.S, it was a lot at once, a lot of information. You're definitely flustered at first, but once you get in through that first week, and you start building out your pipeline, you load that snapshot in, you really start to get a good grasp on how your agency should be ran. So, I mean, like off the bat, first thoughts, it is a lot. It's hard. But once you get into the flow of things, Dan's there whenever you need a call. So, that was definitely helpful. And then the 2 meetings on Mondays and the 2 meetings on Fridays, beginning and end of the week, that definitely helped out a lot, I would say.
Like the group meetings, you mean like the Zooms?
Yeah, the Zoom meetings. And I think
Okay.
that's just part of B.O.S.S 2.0 now, right?
So yes, the group meetings are still part of the B.O.S.S 2.0 program. I think the biggest thing about that is just most people that I talk to who like talk to me about like wanting to get coaching and stuff, they're always like, "Hey, what's up? I took a Mangaji's course and it was cool. I just didn't get results. And the reason why I want to talk to you is because, I signed up for this other program and I got to talk to the course creator like I think one time in the 30 days. I was like, "Okay, well, I don't really see how that's coaching because you're not talking to somebody every day." So, I don't think there's another program out there that talks to their students as much as I do. And yet still we have people in the program who don't show up to the meetings. So why do you think you were able to make it work as opposed to like other people who maybe have tried other courses, maybe even my course and didn't make it through? Why weren't they able to and why were you?
Yeah, honestly, I think it was just like the kind of drive that I brought to the table and the kind of accountability that you, Dan, held me to. I think like if you're gonna take a course, dude, you gotta put all of your gas down, all you to just floor it, right? You're taking this course, you're learning new things, and if you're not applying everything you learn and you're not just attacking it, then you're not going to go anywhere. And I think what really helped me out was the one-on-ones with you. The fact that I was able to call you, yo, can we get on the call real quick? Can you help me out with this, and that? And again, that was mostly like reviewing calls that I had and just like ironing out like sales calls. But it helped a lot. And I think the mix of just the drive and me wanting to do this bad, and then also the one-on-ones with you giving me like those personalized coaching, that was the game changer. I think that was the reason why I was able to succeed and see profit in the first couple months.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of people that go through the program and they think that once I get the client, it's over. I did it. They don't know that there's still a learning curve for fulfillment, that there's still time to learn stuff even after you get a client. How about 3 months, 6 months, 12 months after you get a client? How can you build that LTV? How can you upsell them? There's still so many more hoops to go through. So a lot of people have the problem with actually acquiring clients, but what is your experience with like white label services or actual fulfillment for, or through the B.O.S.S program? I mean, what's your experience with that?
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I was one of Dan's students that used Dan's white label to do all of my fulfillment. So far I've had no chargebacks. I've had all happy customers. I think a big part of that, again, like Dan said, it's like half the journey once you land that client. Like you still got a lot more to work to do. So I think just being, very, very consistent with your clients, making sure that they're happy every step of the way, that they don't have any questions, you'll be good. And as long as you're using, good white label like Dan's crew, you shouldn't have any problems there. So I would say it definitely a good experience. And, any tips moving forward, just, be there for your clients. Absolutely. Be there for the account management aspect of things.
So with that said, now today is November 3rd. How long have we been working together now?
I think it's just hitting 2 months now. Yeah.
It's hitting three, right? Because we did 2 months. This is now the third.
Right. Yeah. So we have 2 months of history.
So in the 2 months that you've been working in the B.O.S.S program, what are your results? The golden question.
Right. I've made $10,000 in the past 2 months, and now we have 3 cold callers calling every single day. Me and Dan have just completed my ads campaign, my funnel. So I'm going to have those launched by the end of next week. My predictions for November, I think I'm going to be pulling in about 20K this month.
I don't want to bias the interview also. Like I kind of want to make it real as possible. So don't be afraid to answer this question as honestly as possible. But what are some things maybe that you hated about the B.O.S.S program, or something that you wanted to see that you didn't already?
When I joined B.O.S.S, there was not as much information as there is now. So I would say that when I joined B.O.S.S, I definitely had a lot more questions. I needed a lot more assistance because there wasn't that much in B.O.S.S. But I say now that it's like built out, I would say it's a lot easier to like now come into B.O.S.S and have, a serious like playing field to work in. Because I would say when I came in, it was a lot at once, a lot of information. There wasn't that much in the course. It was kind of difficult to navigate. But now that it's built out and that I've went through those meetings and I was attending every single meeting, honestly, I think it was a great experience. I think people joining now have a much bigger advantage than I did when I joined 2 months ago.
Just because of the content that's in there now? Yeah.
Yeah, because all the extras that they have.
I know. We don't even have modules for fulfillment.
Oh, I
Like
know.
what the
It's
So like
difficult.
some people, yeah, because like before everybody was like, well, I got a client, like I got to use a white label service. And then I was like, okay, I mean, if you're doing the same niches, I guess I could do them for you. And then we had to like adapt. Like once we switched everything over to TikTok, because Facebook is literally dead right now, like compared to TikTok. The new content that's there obviously is very helpful now because there's like a sales deck, an entire script that's already done for you. The entire funnel is done for you. All the automations inside of High Level is done. When we first get into the program, I get your niche picked, your offer picked, your service picked, your scripts. It's all done for you. Like that's why I think the B.O.S.S program is the quickest way to start, because I do all the heavy lifting in the beginning, and then now it's just you got to take the action. And still, I have people that go through the program and don't do it. So what do you say to those people who are kind of on the fence right now, want to get started?
If you're on the fence, dude, if you have time and tiniest bit of money just to get started to throw into the B.O.S.S program, I would say pull the trigger. All you need is your time. You donate your time, you do the work, you fill Dan's course, you do the work, you will make it out on top. So I think if you're on the edge, just pull the trigger, do it. We've been doing cold calling for the past 2 months and it's been going great, right? And it really, at the beginning, it was all hard, it was like I had to be on the phone, I had to be on doing the calls every single day. Now Dan's helped me build out a team underneath me, and now we're scaling to ads, and that's all within 3 months. So if you're on the edge of this thing, say just get started as soon as possible, get cold calling, get hitting the phones, so you can have Dan build out your client acquisition funnel for ads and really start scaling after that.
Okay, so that's tricky, right? Because when you say stuff like that, Ricky, I already know there's people watching this video right now. They're like, dude, Ricky already had like freaking experience. He was born into money, bro. Probably. He probably had a silver spoon. So just tell them about your background before you even got into B.O.S.S or even knew who I was. What were you doing before?
Yeah. I was absolutely broke, guys. I've had a lot of different experiences in business. I definitely understood business a little bit, but I had no money getting started. So I think B.O.S.S really helped me out there because he taught me how to cold call. He taught me how to hit the phones with no money and get started. The background that I had prior to this, I had a little bit of marketing background. I was mostly doing construction with my dad. My dad has a construction business. My brother has a landscaping business. I was mostly doing a lot of labor intensive work. And I think big problem for me was just making that switch to going from, hey, I don't have to do this labor intensive work. I can actually get on the phones, hit the phones every day and be a businessman. So, my background was more in just labor intensive work, and it wasn't a good place. I definitely wanted to get out of that. Definitely just start hitting the phones. It's really where the money's at.
So you were doing construction, you got into the B.O.S.S program, you started making pretty good money now from pretty much a Wi-Fi connection. But I want to talk about how we started to work together, because we're talking about your agency. Now let's get into how we started working together. So you were a student, you got on the same call everybody else gets on. You're like, hey, I want coaching. I'm like, why? And you're like, because I think I need it. And I was like, all right. So then you get on, you start doing your cold calls. We're reviewing cold calls. I'm listening to your cold calls now. You're doing outreach for a couple of days and you start pitching on a cold call.
Yes, sir.
And I can confidently say I've never had a student do that. I've never had somebody on a cold call do the entire immersive close. the one that I exactly have on my YouTube channel. Never, even one time. So I was pissed that you were selling somebody on a cold call, but I was doubly impressed by the fact that you had already memorized the sales script and I didn't even teach it to you yet. And at that point, I was like, damn, that was good. But I was also very mad at the same time because I was like, why?
You're correcting my cold calling, but at the same time, you're like, that is how you close. Absolutely.
So I pretty much just asked you, I was like, hey, we're starting to run TikTok ads with Jason Wojo. If y'all don't know who that is, I'll put a link right here on the screen to go to his channel, check him out. But I started working with Jason Wojo because he's building out my funnel for my agency. We're starting to run ads. And I was like, damn, I need a salesperson. And so again, it was kind of like that perfect timing. And we've been closing deals a lot together too. So like within the last 6 weeks,
Yeah.
we've closed 22 deals in my agency, you personally.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
Very good. So I came from doing like labor intensive work, right? I find the B.O.S.S course. We're reviewing calls. I've been studying Dan's videos, his YouTube channel, for the past year, right? So I know his closing calls. I know what his closing scripts are. I'm starting to utilize them on cold calls because I'm like, all right, if they're high intent, might as well just try to close them anyway. Dan's like, no, that's not what you do, but you should do that for me. And now Dan has been teaching me how to close deals and so many different ways, how to just really work the phones well and, get people to see the value in our services. So not only does this skill carry over in my own agency, but it's going to carry over in like everything I do. I think the closing training that you've been giving me, like within your agency, that has been absolutely fire too. I mean, I'm extremely thankful for that.
Yeah, because you were already doing good. Like it had already been like, I don't even know, like a couple weeks. Like I said, like 3, maybe 5 weeks. You're doing good. You're doing a lot of prospecting. You're showing up to the calls. You're messaging me on Slack. You're like, Daniel, I need help every day. Most people are not willing to do that. And I just want to say right now, like I hold people accountable. Okay, Ricky can tell you every single day I be in there. How many calls? How many interested? How many deals? I'm there. But if you guys don't do it, there's nothing I can do for you. And that goes for any program, regardless if you're going to get B.O.S.S or like Iman Gadji's course, or it doesn't matter whose course. If you don't do it, it's not going to work. And then you're going to be like everybody else who's like, oh, the course didn't work. The program didn't work. No, you didn't work. Ricky was watching my stuff for a year before he started to do it. And some people won't even do it for 30 days. I mean, it's insane. I've had tons of other interviews on this channel. Some people aren't even doing SMMA anymore, but that doesn't take away from the intangibles that I'm teaching them. The sales training, the prospecting, how to create an offer, how to create a script that's going to get attention. You can apply any of these to any service-based business. And that's why we're able to get such good results for our clients. So I just want to make that very clear, especially the people watching, because most of the people watching right now are not in B.O.S.S and they want to get into it. But anyways, like I said, overall, I'm just super excited for your success. I'm just really happy that we're working together because it's still good for me. Like some people don't realize, oh yeah, he just wants to sell students. Cool. But I learned just as much as you guys. Some people, I've had students go into brand new niches that I've never done and get results. And then they're like, wait, I'm running into this problem. I'm like, damn, how do we solve that problem? So it's like, I learn at the same time with you guys. So there's no cookie cutter thing. You got to really persevere. If you've never done sales before, if you've never done something like this, it's going to be hard. And that's good because then you're going to get used to it. If you can close cold leads, baby, the warm leads will be easy. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for my questions. Like I said, you've been doing very well so far. I wanted to kind of share your experience. You were nice enough to get on the interview today and just kind of share your story. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk to the people about? Anybody that's maybe just starting out, any words of encouragement, something that you could tell them that you think would be valuable?
Yeah, words of encouragement. If you're actually interested in starting a business in 2022 or 2023, SMMA probably going to be your best move. Really boils down to how hard you want to work at something. And with a service-based business, you put in the hours and you get something back. You present your skills and you will always get something back. Rather than drop shipping, you're going in blind, guys. If you don't have a mentor with you, if you don't have an agency working with you, you're going in blind. If you really want to like just iron out a business model, anyone can start. I think SMMA is the move. If you don't have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to spend on ads in the first couple months, I recommend taking the B.O.S.S course.
So now with that being said, now that we're done, we're going to have a ton of people trying to find Ricky. So how can the people find you?
Absolutely. So my agency is called First Shift Media. If you guys can hit my website at firstshift.media. We also have a Facebook page. Anyone has any questions for me or for B.O.S.S, contact First Shift Media and, we'll send you guys the right information.
Cool, man. I really appreciate that. Well, with that being said, everybody, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys when I see you guys.